Episode 6.
I'm locked in. Episode 6, Talks Beyond Barbell. Episode 6.
That's right. That wasn't even planned. Okay.
All right, man.
Episode 6. I'm excited because now we're on to the second hand. Like, that's a big deal. We're close to 10 episodes. Are you excited?
What are you talking about? Super excited, man.
Okay.
And just want to thank you guys because we've been getting a lot of love, a lot of positive feedback, so that's been special. So,
Yeah.
just want to continue to grow the pod, continue to have good conversation, deep conversation, meaningful conversation. So let's rock.
Yeah. All right. What are we going to talk about this week?
I don't know, Sarah. You tell her. You kick us off, get us started.
All right. So the first topic this week comes from a podcast that we are huge fans of, right?
Yeah,
Cruise
yeah,
Season.
Yeah, for sure.
So they had an episode a little while ago about relationships, and they actually had guests on their show, and one of the topics that they covered kind of spoke to us. So we'll show you the clip, and then we're going to talk about it.
What a relationship does is holds a mirror to yourself so you can see your true self, right? And so, yeah, you have to be willing to do the work. And either you're going to stay in that selfishness, stay in that immaturity and not give your partner, what they need or desire. We talked about this on our podcast as well. Or you're going to grow. Mm-hmm. And not only just for the relationship in your partner, but for yourself.
Right.
And that is what I've learned. That's been like the biggest lesson, like for me, with kind of shedding some of either the things from my past, because I feel like two people come in a relationship, they're imperfect.
Yeah. Right.
And you're bringing all of like your baggage with you in a relationship, right? And so I think that for me, in trying to be a better partner for my husband, I was able to become a better woman with a relationship.
All right. So the question is,
Yeah.
do you think relationships reveal your true self and imperfections?
I'd have to say, yeah, of course they do. At the end of the day, relationships going to expose probably the worst parts of you. And the reason why I say that is because everything's out there on display.
Raw.
It's not much you can hide or get away with hiding at that point once you spending an exorbitant amount of time with any person, all right, if it's real. Now, we know some relationships based on the physical, some relationships are based on what people can provide you. But if you in a relationship where, it's legitimate feelings involved, then, yeah, it's going to expose some of your imperfections and your true self. Mm-hmm. And I think that in itself sometimes leads to the demise of quality relationships, because I feel like you can only put on your representative for so long. So you can only put on your costume for so long. At some point in time, you got to show your hands. And I think nowadays we can both attest to that. It gets to that point where people actually see you for who you are, and oftentimes, sometimes they don't really like it, or you start to see you for who you really are. And you start to understand that, hey, it's some things I need to change. It's some things I need to do better. Mm-hmm. As a man, I ain't gonna front. I done fumbled some good women. I mean, that's just the bottom line. All right, and why did I fumble those good women? Maybe I wasn't at the place I wanted to be in my life. Maybe my finances wasn't in order. Maybe I was on my bullshit at the time, whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. I had to do some soul searching, looking at the mirror too. I think both of us can attest to this also. At certain times, it's okay to simply say, hey, it's me. It's some things I need to do better. It's some growing I need to do. It's some improving I need to do. And I think accountability is huge, because at the end of the day, it's never one person's fault when some of these situations end. So How do you feel about it? Do you feel like they reveal your true self and imperfections? Or?
Yeah, I think something that I liked in the blurb that we showed is that they talked about how a relationship basically shows you a mirror of yourself, right? And you
Exactly.
have the choice then to decide to grow or not. So many of us, especially for you and I, like
Yeah.
we are very independent people. Like
Of
we
course.
have come to enjoy our own space, our routine, our lifestyle, and it's not necessarily when because the first time I listened to the clip, I was like, what do you mean show a mirror to myself? Like,
Yeah.
but then when you listen to it, you really think like it's not necessarily showing you your ugly sides, but like the areas of opportunity that you can grow. So like as someone who is very independent, when you come into a partnership, you get to choose. Are you going to allow that person to open up that part of you that finds a happy medium, or are you going to stay stagnant in where you are and where as that independent individual, which is okay too,
Very much
but
so.
it forces you to look yourself in the face and say, what is it that I actually want? Like, do I want to have someone that holds me accountable to move in this relationship, to grow and better myself? And sometimes when you have that other person in your relationship, they are now forcing you to reconcile some of those differences in
that
yourself.
you got, yeah.
And if you have a good partner, and I think that does allow you to see yourself on so many different levels, because now you have someone else from the outside. You know, we get very
for
comfortable in life. I am very comfortable with where I am right now, and so I can understand completely how somebody else can then force me to look at things from a different perspective.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to think of it too, that it's not in a, like, it's not to call out, like when we say imperfections or when they say imperfections, I think it's not necessarily to say you're a bad person, but to say, hey, here's something that you can better at. You may be good at it already, but they may give you that space to change your perspective and become even better.
Yeah, but I think also at the same time, you just have to, you have to understand that whatever partner you choose, it matters. So I think a lot of times, again, I'm going to speak on this. We have got to do a better job when we seek out people to be in relationships with. Things have to align. All right, now, as human beings also, we have to understand you can't change people. I think we spend a lot of time in dead-end relationships in the hopes that people will change and conform to who we want them to be. That's not reality. We, as partners, can help people grow, guide people, and show them a better way. But you can't lead them to water and you can't make them drink. So, with that being said, you have to find somebody who fits in your frame and aligns with your life. Now, when and if that happens, may that person push you to see some things within yourself that you need to change, of course. If you're an independent person that has been single for a while, let me tell you, you probably got some terrible bad habits. It happens to all of us. You've been by yourself for a while, you're going to have some bad habits. You're going to have some things that you do independently. You're going to have some things that probably didn't annoy you before that now they annoy you. Okay, so with that being said, you have to allow somebody to stretch you and be in your space. But in my opinion, that only comes if they fit inside your frame. Sometimes we try to make things work with people that don't necessarily fit in our life and our frame, and that's the issue.
Yep.
All right, I'm not gonna be able to change everything about a person.
Yeah.
And I think we find it very difficult when we love people to accept that. It's people that I have loved dearly that I've had to let go, that I've lost, because at some point in time I had to say to myself, this is not going to be any different than it was yesterday. As much as I love that person, it's not going to be any different than it was yesterday. So at that point in time, we are no longer helping each other.
Right.
It's nothing else I can do for you. It's nothing you can do for me. Because when you find that synergy, you can transform some things. You can change some things. You can come together on some things. But people have to be willing to do that. And I just think the way that it reveals true self is you just get a great picture of of how much somebody truly loves you, right? Because it's some things, some concessions, some changes, and I tell people that all the time. You're in a relationship, right? You ain't in a fairy tale, so somebody is going to have to make some type of concessions. Somebody is going to have to take a back seat sometime. That's just the reality of a relationship. That's why I tell people, if you ain't willing to deal with that, don't get in a relationship, right? So, but what I mean by that is you have to look at these things. Because if you've been willing to make concessions and do things to make your partner's life easier or to fit things, but they're not doing that for you, that tells you a whole lot. They're never going to do it for you.
Right.
So,
Well, just like it shines a mirror on yourself, it also shines a mirror on your partner.
of course.
And I think how you each choose to view that reflection is then going to depict where your relationship goes.
For sure.
I think you made a very good point in a relationship is that if one partner is the only one doing the self-work
That's it.
to grow and develop and move forward in their life,
Yes.
but the other person is not, or they're not ready for that change, it's time to cut
You're
the
not gonna
loose
make it happen.
ends.
You're not.
And that sounds heartless, but I think it comes from a place of both of us.
It comes from a place of
We've
understanding.
done that.
Yeah,
You know,
it
we've
comes from a
been
place of
there.
understanding.
We've tried to put people in a box. I'm sure people have tried to put us in a box that didn't necessarily fit sometimes because life comes in seasons. And it may not be that those two seasons align with each other, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, we are all human. We all make mistakes, and just because things don't align doesn't mean that either person is bad. It just means that your paths are at different places right now.
Yeah.
And you have to make sure, like you said, you find the person that aligns with your life and where you're headed. Because a real healthy relationship takes two people looking at that reflection from the other to get better and do the personal work to grow. You can't be a better person for your partner if your partner in turn is not doing the same. A relationship is a two-way street, and I think that's where we see so many struggles in today's day and age is that we're holding on to these dead-end relationships because we want it so bad. And the other person may want it, but they just don't know how to do it because they're not ready to do
Not
that
at all.
yet. They have to do the self-work.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of time and frustration to
Yeah.
do self-work, but you have to do it.
And love is not everything, man. Love is not gonna and like I said, man, I'm gonna say that a lot. I'm gonna say that a lot, people. I'm gonna tell you. I love love. We all love love. We love the feeling. We love the rush. We want to be cared for. We want to be heard. We want to be felt. I don't think it's a person on this planet that don't want to experience that in some type of way. All right? Whatever vice, whatever it may be, relationship, person, beyond that, right? But I'm going to say this again, especially in relationships. Love can't be everything, right? It's some people I done love to death. Hell, it's some people I done love to this day. But that was not going to make the relationship last and make the relationship stay together. So as we continue to grow, and I tell people this, man, as you are a grown person, you have got to start understanding. If that's the only linchpin that you think is going to keep your relationship together, it won't be together very long. So
let me ask you this before we move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
What are some imperfections that a partner has shown you and yourself that have been like the hardest to learn?
No, I think for me, the imperfections within myself that I had to say, that's a tough one, man. I'd have to say me personally, I just have I've been on my own for a while. So when it comes to Tashawn, I'ma always have Tashawn, right? I'ma always try to look out for people and do the best I can for other people, but I don't necessarily always feel like necessarily always trust people to do the same for me. And I could love you, I could care about you deeply. You could be the light of my life, but at the end of the day, I never really look at any person as if I can 100% count on them, and that rub people the wrong way. I'm quick to say, and if something rub women the wrong way all the time, I don't need you. Because I don't. Like, and a lot of people have a hard time hearing that, but what I mean when I say that is, at the end of the day, I'ma always understand that it's on me. You know, my peace, happiness, the things around me, my finances, whether I stay here, whether I stay there, that stuff is on me. Now, would I enjoy having you as a part of my world? Of course. But am I going to go around here saying I need any person? No, because that's not realistic. Why? Because we're human. We hurt people. We let people down. We fall short. These are all things that are going to happen. Mm-hmm. So I think with me, just what it showed in myself at different times is that I do have to be a little bit more tender, a little bit more caring, a little bit more understanding. I do have to approach situations better. I do have to watch the way I speak because I can be very direct, very real. So with that being said, it just taught me that I have to, you know, with a partner or somebody of that nature, I have to have a softer side. I have to be a little bit more open to things. I have to be a little bit more receptive of help and receiving help. So as far as imperfections, I would say that's kind of what I got shown them in my true self.
That was in your mirror.
Yeah, I had to look deep.
It's a hard mirror.
So, yeah. So, yeah, topic one, definitely getting real with you guys and letting that thing go. So, like I said, we started this. We wanted to make sure we had real conversations, but also allowed y'all some insight into us because, you know, there's no perfect people walking this earth. So, with that being said, you know, we want to show our imperfections as well because we want y'all to know we real relatable people going through some of the same things you guys are. So that's just all day. So topic two a bit. Well, I'm gonna let Sarah go on and get on this one first, but I got a lot of feelings about it because I see it day in and day out. And I see a lot of people, a lot of athletes that want to be great, but they're not necessarily willing to make the sacrifices to be great. So the next topic that we discussing, guys, is sacrifices in athletics. Is it important to be great? I'm going to throw this one at Sarah, but I'm going to leave something Shannon Sharp said when he was talking on Undisputed one day. He was just rapping about the sacrifice he made and how he gave up so much to be at the top of the sport, whether it was eating, taking care of his body, his workout regimen, his attention to detail, film study. Okay, but that meant, and he was candid about this, that meant that relationships suffered. Relationship with kids at certain times suffered. He wasn't always the perfect dad. He wasn't always the perfect husband. Because what people don't understand is when you're chasing something great, or when you're trying to be great on those levels and those stages, it's sacrifices that have to be made to be great. I hear a lot of people doing a lot of talking about what they're going to be and what they're going to do, but I don't see it. Okay, because at the end of the day, I could do a lot of talking. And I'm telling you, I could do a lot of talking and people do a lot of talking, right?
Yeah, I know for sure.
A whole lot. But if the work don't show, I ain't believing nothing you saying. Okay, so what I mean is, at the end of the day, to get to some of these levels, man, you got to put the time in. That might mean sacrificing time for your family, from your friends. Mm-hmm. Okay, if that's what you're trying to do. That might mean sometimes people that sacrifice their job or sacrifice time with their kids or certain things like that on the road to be something great, to make something greater. So, to me, sacrificing athletics is so key. And we see a lot of people, okay, that, yeah, they've kept family close. They've been able to do things, but a lot of them haven't.
And they're not the majority, right?
A lot of them haven't. So I'm going to throw this to you, but even right now, Tom going through his situation. Ain't nobody not see this Tom Brady situation going on. You're almost, you move from New England to Tampa. All the reports, hey, listen, guys, when stories get leaked, They ain't getting leaked out of nowhere. All right, pay attention to, read the tea leaves. Okay, Giselle was already telling this man, hey, look, man, come home, be a father. All right, you go through an off season, you supposed to retire. You come back out of retirement out of nowhere. Then we get by halfway through the season, you take another break off. Now all of a sudden, divorce papers getting filed. It was already in the tea leaves. So at the end of the day, when we talk about sacrifices, these are some of the things that happen. So how you feeling about sacrificing in athletics, and is it important to be great?
I think that's an easy answer, yes. Like, you can't be great at anything without sacrifice, first and foremost. Man. And I think this piggybacks off of our last episode, right? And how athletics translate into real life. Like, I think something that people need to be clear on is what exactly is the goal. Are you chasing fame, or are you chasing to be the best in your sport? And if that's what you're trying to do, if you're chasing fame, there's so many ways.
So many ways. You can do anything nowadays.
You don't even have to be that great of an athlete.
At anything. Hell, you don't got to be great at nothing.
Okay, but if we're talking about athletics, you don't even have to be that great of an athlete to become famous in some way, shape, or form.
That's it.
But if you're truly an athlete and you are trying to be elite, you are trying to be at the top of your game, at the top of the sport with the best of the best, you have to sacrifice.
You have to.
And you have to be clear on what it is that you are chasing and how you're going to get there. Because we see a lot of young people. I mean, we're not that old either. But, people our age, they want to chase these goals. They want to do things to get to another level. But then they still want to be out partying.
You don't want that.
They don't want to stop eating
you don't want that, Sarah. You don't want
a
that.
certain way. They are not ready to stop chasing relationships or whatever you want to call it. And even if we take this down from an elite level athlete, right, and we bring it down to, like, you just want to be good at a sport, right? You're picking up a new sport. We're starting off the weightlifting season. And so this is for our kids. Like, if that's what you want to do and you want to do well in that sport, you have to decide, okay, this may mean I don't get to spend as many weekends with my friends. That might mean that I'm still a student athlete, so I have to then make sure that I prioritize school, training, making sure that after you are out of training that you're getting a rest, recovery, the proper nutrition to support what you're going for. And other kids or other people, even us as adults, right, as athletes.
For sure.
People who do not do what you do are not going to understand where you're headed. Hell, even sometimes people who do what you do don't understand where you're headed. And
how could they understand? You only understand if you're in that arena, man. You don't understand if you're not there. If it don't mean as much to you, how can you understand?
Exactly. And it's so challenging. And I think at any level of athlete, but especially going to an elite level, I mean, you have to sacrifice everything. That becomes the center of your life. And from there, you build on to that circle, right? So obviously you have to do everything you can for that sport. Then the people that you start bringing into your life now have to be also clear on what your goal is.
That's it.
And if they can't align with that goal, it's time to move on.
That's it.
You are the company that you keep. And even though we were talking about relationships previously, that carries on to romantic relationships, that comes to your personal relationships, your friendships, and it just takes one rotten apple to ruin the bunch. And so it's so important that you are so clear on how much sacrifice you're going to have to do to get to the next level and be willing to do that.
And be willing, but because at the end of the day, this is the thing, right? People always people want a whole lot. People want a lot. People want to do a lot. People say a lot of things. I hear it all the time. And my young people know this because I always talk to them about this. Stop telling me what you're trying to do if you're not putting the work in. I don't want to hear that.
Yep.
Don't tell me, oh, I'm trying to make it to state. I'm trying to make it to the national level. Oh, my team trying to do this, so we trying to do that. You're not working like that.
Yep.
You have to be working to a level and a standard that's above reproach every single day. You have to put the time in. Some people out here getting 2 and 3 workouts a day in the field we do. This ain't no game.
Right.
People out here, they out here training every day, grinding. People quitting their jobs, isolating themselves from family, friends, to lock in to try to get this done, to try to make teams, to try to make pushes. So if you're not willing to do the things that you talking about, shut up. And that is just plain and simple. We hear it all the time, man. I be getting on the internet, hearing these fools talking about somebody sucked. Man, look, let me tell y'all something, man. If you make it to any major sports league in America, we fans. I think fantasy football got some of y'all. Fantasy sports done got everybody twisted in their head. Let me give you the rationale. If you make it to the top level at any sport them people do, they don't suck. And more than likely, they doing every bit of something that you ain't doing. Ooh. Period. That you wouldn't even dream of doing. Period. So when we talk about sacrifices, that's what it comes with. It might come with loss of kids. It might come with loss of family. But these people have put everything into trying to be the very best they can. Has it afforded them a great life in a lot of ways? Yeah, it has. But just like all our lives, things happen. Situations happen. You have to find a special woman to deal with this. Right? Your kids, you have to have conversation. They have to understand, man, that ain't gonna be around a little bit, but I'm trying to make a better life for you. Who knows what all those situations come into play? Yep. But people gotta, look, in order to be great, you have got to go there, man. And when Shannon was talking about it, he was so passionate because you get all the way from Savannah, Georgia to the Hall of Fame. You don't do this by just no chance. People was working, putting the time in, talking about his diet, talking about his workout habits, talking about putting extra time. Okay, we talking about the Tom Brady situation. Do I believe Tom Brady a bad guy? No. Do I believe Giselle a bad woman? No. But let me tell you, sometimes when this in the way, I got to reach this. And sometimes for us as athletes, that becomes addicting. That becomes our addiction. It's hard to walk away. I think Tom had every intention of walking away from the game of football. He got out there a couple months. Man, I'm stir crazy at the house. Yeah. I'm looking at them kids up there. Hey, Daddy, let me do that homework. You gonna help? Tom like, what? Oh, man, I got to get a.
Yeah. But I think, too, if we kind of even break that down, right?
Yeah.
So if you have known anything about Tom Brady from his very beginning, he has been so deeply rooted
in his sport.
And in mastering his craft. And so
not only that, from the
childhood.
That to now, think about the TB12 method from what he eat to what he do. You can't make it to 45 years old playing this sport unless you doing.
Well, not okay. So people can have their own opinions on Tom Brady. I'm from New England, so
yeah,
I love Tom.
Yeah, for sure.
But at the end of the day, you cannot take away not only what he has accomplished, but what he also gives back to the sports and to us as fans, right? And I think that also comes into play. And things like your partner, like Giselle knew that going into this relationship. She knew who he was. We all knew who he was. And so that's not saying anything against her, but and it could very well be that you get involved in something, you bring someone into your circle for someone who's at that elite level, and they think they can handle it. But once you get close enough to the source,
I'm telling people, man,
it's not all it's cracked up to be. And it's not sunshine and rainbows, because we talk about social media a lot, but these athletes we're talking about athletes, so we'll stick there. So these athletes put things out for us to consume, right? But they're not going to put the torturous hours that they spend training and grinding at all hours of the day, because that's not appealing, right? That's not going to... Now, will it motivate some people to chase their goals? Yeah, of course. But at the end of the day, social media is meant to be sunshine and rainbows. To be appealing and to give you some drama and things like that. So we fuel into that. And so we don't know what they go through day in and day out. We may never know, because we're not going to be Tom Brady. I will never be that. Yeah. But I think, too, then the other side is, when you are at that level, at what point are you tired of sacrificing for your sport that it's time to say, okay, I'm ready to sacrifice my sport. I've done enough.
Yeah.
that I can move on. And we have seen some
Yeah.
athletes
And-
that are ready to move
Yeah.
on, and you see their life, shift.
And we seen, and like I said, we seen some athletes be able to blend the two, and it worked, right?
Right.
But again, that comes with finding the partner and people in your life that are understanding of the mission that you own. But it's not easy. Like I tell people all the time, if you trying to be great in athletics, it's some type of sacrifice that got to be made, and you got to pay it.
And you have
If you trying to reach an elite level. So I don't, hey, look, I'm not gonna sit up here and lie to nobody. So we shouldn't even lie. If you trying to get to an elite level, oh, it's different.
Yeah.
It's just different. Sarah, and that's anything in your life. And I'm just telling y'all right now, if you trying to get to an elite level in something in your life, guys, you got to sacrifice something. Because the time got to be paid to whatever that craft is. And that's whether it's athletics, coaching the athletics, all that. That's why you see us go to those extreme lengths. All right, it's hard. People all the time, dang, boy, coach, you being there with them all summer, all that. Yeah, because if you want to be great, that's what you're doing. Okay, I could take the summer off, but that ain't gonna help my kids. That ain't gonna help me as a coach. All right, you get home. You want to go to sleep. Nah, you got to review film, and you got to make workout plans, and you got to get ready. Are you posting content of your athletes? Are you doing certain things because you trying to get ready for the next day? All of this accumulates into because I want to be great. I'm watching Instagram. I'm watching other coaches. I'm trying to figure out other things I can do to help my athletes. They got the fishers. I'm trying to figure out how I can help them, what I can do next, how I can become a better athlete myself. This the hunger that you got to have. It got to grow. It got to be there. There's got to be a burning desire in you that every day I'm trying to be the greatest I can be. So that's when you know you ready to try to transition into, hey, I need to be elite in this. This matter to me.
Yep.
Okay, so then people around you got to understand that.
Well, and so to piggyback off of that, I think one of the hardest sacrifices that we see as people move towards their goal is that you may love some people in your life.
Man,
you may really truly care for friends, for even family sometimes, for partners.
Yes.
Right? And you know, we've been talking a lot about Tom Brady and Giselle. I have no doubt in my mind that the two of them have loved each other because they have had, from what we've seen, a healthy relationship, right? And so there's no doubt that comes into play. But sometimes people just no longer align with where you're headed. And you have to, if you really truly want to be great, you have to understand that that's okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't take anything away from that person.
Yes.
That doesn't take anything away from the experience that you have shared, the bond that you had. But it just means that it's time to move on and let them do what they need to do, because it's time for you to grind, for you to work, and to bring in other people that understand the goal and are going to push you to be even better.
And it's okay for those people
to watch from the sidelines.
Yeah, it's okay from those people that's adjacent in your life to feel like, hey, enough is enough. And for me personally, I can't go on that journey with you no more. Yep. That's okay too. That's okay. But again,
that's a hard sacrifice. I think
But again, if you try, and I'm gonna say this one more time, because people really got to stop. Like it, and that's why I said when I be hearing people talk about, oh, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Okay, what type of time we talking about you putting in, bro? What type of time we talking about you putting in, mama? That's all I want to know. Because if we trying to go elite with this, something gotta go. Something got to be sacrificed. Some time got to be spent, and the focus got to be on this. I think that's a lot of the times what be the issue. Because what people don't understand for these athletes is reaching that pinnacle, the focus is clear. The focus is clear. It's not I'm looking here, I got 50. No, the focus clear. Because I'm going to make this happen. So anything you trying to do in your life, it has to be an elite level of focus. But if you trying to be great, it got to be an elite level of focus, and elite sacrifices made if you're going to reach that level. And that's period.
No question.
And if you're not willing to do that or pay that, that's fine. Like I tell people all the time, like I tell some of my kids, I don't got no problem with you doing whatever you feel like is necessary for you. Whatever bring you peace and joy. But what I be trying to tell people, if you trying to be great, and you come holler at me, I'm gonna ask you, okay, well, what type of time? What you ready? What you ready to do? Hey, how far are we gonna take this? Because I have to be real with them as young people, because what they don't understand is when you get out here in the real world and in real life, it's sacrifices and things need to be made if you trying to reach a certain level. Now, if you really want to be average,
That's okay.
that's okay.
There's a space for average.
And not only is space, it's a line long as hell. And that's okay if that's what you choosing to do. But if you trying to get to that upper echelon, man, it's time got to be paid, man. Sacrifice got to be made. And if that's not enticing to you, that's fine. But all that talk about, oh, this, that, no, that's gonna cut that out. I think our third topic. So our third topic is something, man, I've been itching to talk about, because, man, let me tell y'all something. Some of these people out here, man, they making me scratch my head. So, and I got a real headache right now.
My head hurts.
So, so this my thing. Why do we become a fan of people and instantly forget that they're terrible people?
So let me ask you this. Because I haven't asked you this question off air, right? So when you say that, are you talking about people that we idolize? Like
exactly.
Famous people?
Exactly.
Okay.
So, and because I'm gonna tell y'all, because like I said, when we started this, we want to have real conversation and real dialogue. So I'm about to tell y'all something that's burning me up. Okay? So let me tell y'all something. Sometimes people just shit. All right? It's some shit people. And I need y'all to understand and hear what I'm saying. And just because you a fan of them, don't make them a good person. Okay? We have gotten so far away from reality sometimes, it's scary to even think about. Okay? So I'm going to start this off because just been something been burning me this week. Okay? Because sometimes people love to claim to be a free thinker. All right, so we gonna dive into this because it's two individuals just at this point in time, just to no end, blow my mind, because also at the lengths people go to defend them after they do and say crazy shit, and then people always want to, oh, hey man, they're letting them rock out. That's just them. Hey, nah, man, they free thinking, they going against the man. What in the hell is some of y'all talking about? No, they're not going against the man. Okay, so Kanye get on here again for the 14,000th time and do something outlandish. Now, whether Kanye doing it for clout, whether Kanye's doing some of this stuff just because he wants to do it, because in y'all words, he trying to provoke thought, he's not. Kanye's an idiot. A guy that y'all call a genius because of his musical talents. So we continue to give him a pass every time he do something stupid. Okay? So let me just get cut to the chase. All right? He decides to have his normal fashion show, whatever. He comes out, Candace Owens shows up. You already know what time that is. Oh, they got the White Lives Matter shirts on. I'm going to say this right now. Okay? For my crowd that continues to post or put on for this White Lives Matter, All Lives Matter stuff, let me tell y'all something. That has never been in question. The only people that have to question throughout the history, 400 years of slavery, the only people that had to question whether their lives matter and still do. Well, I just watched on social media a football team get their whole season canceled because they was having a slave auction. So before some of y'all tell me that race don't exist and some of this stuff is not dangerous for Kanye to be out there doing, you a damn lie. Okay, that's just a lie. So at the end of the day, the only people that have worried about whether their lives matter or not are people of color. So that's what we talking about right now. Whether you believe Black Lives Matter was a scam or not, the message behind Black Lives Matter was real. I ain't talking about the people running the organization. They can burn up too because everybody in hindsight already know what they was doing with the funds, but that don't matter. Because see, sometimes we lose focus of what's really going on because we focusing on what people doing. No, the message is the message. The message is, hey, we all we want to know is this is what we want to know. We want to know people of color lives matter. We want to know that women lives matter. It's never been a question in this country if certain groups of people lives matter. That's not even a provoking thought. So for somebody to jump on, what Tashawn talking about? What? No. What Tashawn is talking about is all certain people in this country want to know is that their lives matter. Is there a question about whether all lives matter? White lives matter. That's never been a question. That's not no question. So again, don't lose sight of the message because these fools trying to be the messenger. But we also got to stop giving these people passes. Every time Kanye do something crazy, we want to try to give Kanye a pass. Oh, he mental health. Oh, he doing this. Oh, he doing that. Listen, guys, that ain't got nothing to do with Kanye mental health at this point. Last week, he was calling the Kardashians the KKK. Now he got a White Lives Matter shirt on. Do the math, people. This ain't hard to figure out. But these the people y'all call free thinkers. Nah, if thinking that free, I don't want nothing. I don't want it. If thinking is that free, I don't want it. So all I'm saying is, man, we got to be careful, man, because these people, they're famous. They have huge audiences that think some of this right. And it don't be. But we done got so far away from reality, we co-sign some of this. And just like, and I'm going to go back to something Shannon Sharp said today, and I'm going to say it right on this podcast, because y'all going to hear me talk about some real stuff sometime. I don't want no black person getting on here trying to talk about, oh, he holding a brother down. Man, y'all shut up. Shut up. That makes no sense. When somebody wrong, I'm going to say they wrong. I don't care if they black, white, orange, green. I don't care. If you wrong, you wrong. So the problem has been, and I'm gonna let you chime in because I know you got some strong feelings about this too. The problem is we become a fan of people and we try to make excuses for them. Fam, they wrong. I don't care if you no fan of that man. He dead wrong for what he did. People become a fan of people and act like they got black shades on and they can't see. Like they just looking in the light and they blinded. No, he terrible. I don't care if you like his music. I don't care if you like his clothes. I don't care if you like one or two things he did. And guys, let me tell y'all something. It's people that make nice gestures and do stuff every once in a while to keep y'all, oh nah, they ain't that bad of a person. They okay. No, they bad. So whatever it is, y'all want to make all these excuses, fine. His mama paid it. That don't, no. At some point in time, Kanye ain't a grown man.
And where's the accountability?
He know what he doing. So I'm going to let you have it, man. And there's a few other people I got smoked for, but I'm going to let you take it.
I think for me, it's just so scary. Like, I think the world we live in is
so scary, man.
It's so scary because
people can be influenced by anything.
Where is our moral compass?
Man, come on, man.
And this is something we just struggle with because I think if you know us, you know that we are very direct and have no problem telling people exactly how we feel about things. And I think for me, I don't understand how we can place value on something that a person provides for us, some sort of service, right? Like he is, you want to call him a musical genius, you can call him whatever you'd like.
Man, I ain't calling Kanye no, I'm off that.
But at what point do you now say that his musical influence weighs more or is worth more than those lives that he's now sending a message about? Like, where do we feel as people? Like, why is that, or what he has provided for us socially? Because let's be honest, what really has he provided for us as a humanity? Since we're talking about
aside
him,
from some damn music, man.
Exactly.
Aside from some music.
And
right
at the end
now,
of the day,
come on, man.
When do we look out for each other as humans? Like,
And when do we get back to, at some point in time, just actually loving people? That might be something that y'all want to try. It kills me to no end, because in this country we've lost sympathy, we've lost empathy, and can't nobody relate to nobody else or what nobody going through. Because nowadays it's not cool to care about what nobody else got going. Everything about worrying about you,
And
worrying about your next come up. So
And
when
that part.
when something, and I say it all the time, it's so funny to watch how people operate. When it hits you directly in your mouth, then you care about it. When somebody else going through it, oh man, I don't know. Oh man, they should be doing it. Man, look, humble yourself, dog. Life can change in the instant. Life can change in the instant. So what do I mean by that? All that stuff you saying you would never do it, you wouldn't do it. Hey, okay, let life swing around and hit you in your mouth and see what happened. See how you feel. See what you got saying. So it's like I said. It's a little bit of more comfort, but a lot of the issues in the United States of America is a lack of empathy. If I can't relate to what you're going through, if I can't understand what you're going through, how can I be empathetic to that? But the problem is people don't try to see. Because now we live in the age of information, people. You got access to as much information you want, and people still dumb. People still won't do their research. They still believe anything. I got Herschel Walker running around on running for Senate in Georgia. Running for Senate in Georgia, and the man got CTE. And y'all know he do. Nothing coherent he say. He say wild stuff. Anytime he look in the camera, it look like he about to pat. Like, it's just mystifying to me. But why? Because it's all about control. Was watching a lady today that talked about it, because a little thing came out with him about him aborting a baby, because that's supposed to be such a priority to certain people in this country. The lady got right on TV and said, oh, we don't care. I don't care if he aborted the baby, what he do. I want control of the Senate. Come on, man. Y'all know what this about. This about power. This about control. This about what most of this stuff about. So, come on, man. Miss me with all the stuff. Some of these people just terrible people. But y'all don't care. Because at the end of the day, most people just worry about what their agenda is. Is my agenda getting met? Is these people going to help me reach my agenda?
But I think that's how these people get to their height of fame.
Of course.
And have the platform that they do to spread this
of course
disgust, is because there are real people in the United States of America that really do feel that way.
Exactly.
And it is horrifying to think that people who genuinely care for others, who want to learn and be empathetic and grow and see other people succeed, are becoming the minority.
Yeah, come on, man.
And we're literally going backwards in time.
And then we watch some of this stuff. And then we just like, what are we doing? Like what? Like and okay. So another person I got, AB. Come on, man. What are we doing? What are we doing out here? What are we doing out here? And the thing, and the reason why the AB situation bothered me so much is because I know young athletes that idolize it. They look up to him. AB arguably gonna go down as one of the greatest receivers ever played football. But at the end of the day, AB is a terrible person. That's terrible. This is a terrible person. And so we try to make all these excuses up for AB, man. AB did some of that stuff to women, guys. Newsflash. That's the truth. AB did some of this stuff, man. We get on there. Hey, I get it. The song hot. We good. The song hot. But don't let that confuse. I get people, oh, let AB rock out. AB doing this thing. What is y'all talking about? In the video, AB exposing himself, his homeboy in the background. Hey, dog, oh, AB, go ahead, AB. What? Come on, man. Y'all in Dubai. Somebody could have went to prison and never seen the light of day again. But what I'm saying is that's why it's important to have people in your corner that's not just yes people. Always screaming, yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't care if you destroy yourself or not.
Right. And so, I think, too, the only way that we can combat this is to then know that you have to stand up for what you feel is right. Even if you're surrounded by other people that might not have the same vision, it is so important in this day and age. If you learn nothing else from this podcast, right? If you don't care about any other message we send, I hope that you
Age.
hear this. Please, 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 please do the right thing.
Dang, man.
Even if
Come
it
on,
is
man.
the unpopular decision in the room.
And you want people in your life that's going, hey, bro, you messing up.
Yes.
Tighten up. You got to get back right. If you don't have those type of people in your life, stop worrying about it. But guys, please stop idolizing these people. You don't know these people. I'm going to say that 1,000 times on this pod. Y'all don't know these people. Cut it out. You don't know these people.
And what do they do for you?
And what do they do?
Because you're going to
Come
do
on,
all
man.
these things.
Y'all
You're going
be-
to support them.
Come on, man.
You're going to vote for them.
It's craziness.
And at the end of the day, they don't care
Come on, man.
who you are.
And it don't-
They
and when-
don't even know who you
And
are.
when major things happen, Sarah, most of the people that's gonna have your back is the people.
Okay? And at the
And
end
that's
of the
it.
day,
These people, like I said, these people paid crooks and actors. And every year I see us getting up in arms instead of loving each other. The more divide come, and I don't want to hear, when every side of it is divisive. That's all the job is. People out here jockeying for power, trying to tell people what they should do, and they need more to help than who telling you to do what. Come on, man, come on. And so it's just every year I see it happen. Every year we get out here and try to defend people that are terrible people day in and day out, and I be trying to figure out the logic.
Right.
This the age of information, and people still don't know anything. No, why? Because it's easier to follow along with what any and everybody say, then go do research, then go read, all right, then go try to get your knowledge in the right way to find fact and truth. No, I ain't got time for that. I'ma just listen to whatever this person say. I'ma just listen to whatever they tell me. And so that's America in a nutshell right now. It's the information age. Every bit of information you want is out there with a click of a button, and people still be like, "Hey, let me tune in to Joe Blow, and he'll tell me what I should think today, and
Well,
I'll think that."
and I think too, people
Come on,
love
man.
to say, "Oh well, that's not valid information," or "These people are lying on their name," or
man.
say,
Man,
I
come
hate
on.
to. No, you know what? I want to
ahead,
say
man.
there
Oh
are
my
people
God, bro.
that will lie in order to enhance a message of a certain side or for their own personal gain.
No
But-
way.
Okay, but at what point
You don't say.
do you have so much evidence or so many resources that are giving you the same message to say, maybe they're onto something. Maybe that person really is a bad person and they really did do these bad things.
You don't say.
Because I'm sick and tired of, and I'm a woman, so I'm gonna say I'm sick and tired of us saying that these women are coming forward with different sexual assaults that they're having, and they're lying for their own financial gain, and that pisses me off because one, okay, maybe they're a bad apple. I understand. We need evidence to support anything.
Man, look.
But when there's 15, 20,
Come on, man.
50 people
I told
the
somebody.
same
I told
message.
somebody this the other day.
I
You mean
don't
to tell-
understand.
You mean to tell me?
What do you think they
mean
had
to-
a group
that-
message?
You mean to
say, hey,
tell me?
You know what?
Come on,
we
man.
all gonna come
I
up the
can't.
woodwork.
I just can't.
Today's the day.
Today
we
the day.
deliver this message. No,
on, man.
it's
Come
not.
on, man.
And at the end of the day, here's the thing.
Come on, man. Hey, out of nowhere, just hit the button. Everybody hit a panic button. 15, and I be trying to tell people, listen, 1 or 2, y'all want to convince me, I'm fine.
Right.
Okay, y'all want to convince me 1, 2, or 3, I'm fine.
But I'm still questionable.
That's what I'm saying. But 15 people start coming out on people's name,
No.
and y'all still sitting up in here and telling me ain't no smoke where it's fire.
Right.
Come on, man. Like we. Oh man.
And don't please, especially our young people, because us old people.
Yes.
know,
Hey, can I say this? Young people, please. I love you. I spend a lot of time with you. You can change this place. This place is salvageable. You can make a difference. You can do things differently than we've done it. All right, you can do things differently than past generations.
And we've seen it.
This can be a place of hope, love. This can be a place where no matter what color, creed you are, you got the opportunity to make it for yourself.
Right.
This can be a special utopia. It can be that. But what y'all got to stop doing is don't listen to these old heads. Please don't, because it's not where it's at. It's not where it's at. We've made a lot of mistakes. Okay, this place can be a utopia and a place of love and a place where every race, religion, and creed can get along. Don't be buying into some of that foolishness, man. I promise don't be buying into that, man. Please don't.
That's what I was gonna say. I think for me, we've seen our young people step up in ways that we didn't do when we were their age. And
It's hate talk, man.
if nothing else,
Hate is talk.
like, I make a plea that you all do not let what social media is now guide your moral compass. Hold strong to what you feel is right, no matter what social media influences one way or another, because with time, social media will change. The message is going to change based off of those in power. So please, don't let what comes out on social media or in the news or anything like that depict what you feel is right. Fight for what you is right. You have the power. You're coming up to these voting ages. You are of voting age. And fame does not conceal who these people are or the hurt that they are causing on other people for any reason.
Like I said, man, I work in elementary schools every day. So if y'all wanna see a microcosm of what things can be, it's right there for you on full display every day. What happens is people get old and they talk to hate. People talk to hate. So don't let them confuse you. Don't let them dress it up and make it dance. People talk to hate. So that's the narrative to be pushed. Because when you in them elementary school, primary school, you and people don't care what color, how you look, what you look like, what you look at. Nobody don't care about none of that. People be playing and doing things in harmony. Only thing start changing is when us as adults start changing narratives, changing thoughts, and speaking something into people. And that's just period. So yeah. So I think we probably slide off
Delivered
that.
that message.
So that's what it is.
Well, with that,
Yeah.
let's move over to our hot tips.
Hot tips, sizzling. This one gonna burn you up.
Getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes.
Yeah. So this question came from one of our viewers. And so I'm just going to jump into the topic because it's pretty spicy. So the question is, an ex dating your friend or trying to date your friend, yay or nay?
No.
Nay.
It's a hell nay for me.
I mean, what in the what? Excuse.
So I'm going to
excuse
give
my
you some
language on
context
this.
because
Can-
our viewer
Can
gave me a story.
okay? Well, go ahead, because I'm just trying to hear this, and I'll answer after you get a story. Go ahead.
Yeah.
'Cause this
Not
is-
that the story's not going to make it any better,
Because this is gonna be quick.
but when
It's
you
gonna be
hear the
very
story,
quick.
you're going to be like,
All right, this is gonna be
Damn.
very quick for me.
okay, so this viewer got a message from like a friend of theirs,
Okay.
right? Saying, hey, like, can you give me some information about so-and-so who happened to be their ex? Like, is there anything I should know? Like, can you give me some history? Like, why did your relationship fail?
Okay.
Let me know what's going on. Because we've been talking.
What? Okay.
Okay. So before you talk,
Okay. Go ahead.
I want to say my piece.
Yeah. Go ahead.
If someone is truly your friend, nobody hates your ex more than you do. I mean, more than your friend does. The only person that does is your friend. Because honestly, they see the struggle that you go with. 9 times out of 10, relationships don't end cordially. Let's just be honest here. They tend to end abruptly. And even if not, one side is going to tell their friends the ugliest side of their partner. Because that's just the way life is, unfortunately. No, we're not all always grown.
Yeah.
We tend to tell a narrative that paints us in the best light.
Yeah.
So obviously, if someone is messaging you or reaching out, they aren't really your friend. So first and foremost, before we go into the yay or nay, I think it's time to look at that friendship. because I don't know that I want to be friends with somebody that even thinks it's okay to ask me that question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Go ahead.
And then as me, how, like, I could never navigate that. If my friend, like, talked to somebody, that person's off limits.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you weren't in a relationship, if one of my friends had a genuine interest
Mm-hmm.
to date, I'm not saying like, oh, they think they're cute, because people think everybody's cute, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing.
I don't know
But-
about that, but go ahead.
Okay, not everybody, but you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
go
Like,
ahead. I get you.
me and my friend may have a similar taste, and we might think someone's attractive. That's fine. But if you spoke to that person and you have developed some sort of a relationship or a connection, I'm not going to talk to that person ever. Even if they reach out to me, I'm going to be like, excuse me, weren't you talking to my friend?
Yeah.
Like, that's a good friend. They're going to be loyal to you day in and day out. And I already know people are going to be like, oh, well, maybe it just wasn't their person. What if it's the other? No, it's not. That's not how that works.
It's funny,
That's
man.
That's
It's funny.
not cool.
Ooh, that's funny.
You going to talk to any of your friends? Now?
Man, it's funny. You want my answer to this?
I mean, I already know what you're going to say, but
You want my
I think
answer?
the people want to hear what you got
You
to
want
say.
my answer? This a hell no.
Oh, hell no.
Like, okay, so let me first and foremost, let me just dive in deep with y'all. So I'm gonna restate the question because it's just ridiculous. X is dating your friends. All right, so this is what I'm gonna say, man. Because this right here, it's nonsense. So this is what I'm gonna say to this, right? Just check me out, people. So I'm gonna be with somebody. It don't work out with me. Close friends around me are people that I consider friend. One of them start trying to date the person that didn't work out with me, and that happens. So this is what I want to say, because this is what I think that we all need to understand about this. Let me tell y'all, some of y'all got associates. You don't have friends. you don't have friends. You got associates. Because nobody that's your friend gonna even co-sign any of this that's going on. Now, somebody that you an associate of, okay, yeah, this might get pulled on you. So this ain't happening because that person your friend. And so because this the code for Tashawn Williams. At the end of the day, the code clear. I'm not talking to nobody my homeboy done talked to. I'm not talking to nobody he done dated, married, so on and so forth. That's over with.
my God.
That's dead. Okay,
Married?
but I'm just saying that's dead. That's dead at that point. I would never ever cross over that line. Why would I cross over that line with anybody that I am truly friends with? It don't even make sense. And then, what difference is it gonna make me getting with you? They just was with you.
Well,
And I had to hear all about everything and how it ended.
So that's my
what,
question.
I'm like, what are we
Is
talking
like-
about? So what's gonna be what the new shit I'm about to do? I done learned all your tricks. My friend, the homeboy done. So that's why I be saying, Sarah, these people that they got to be talking about got to be we should have put dating your friend your associates trying to date your, because that's the only thing that I can even make sense of this.
Right.
Because there's no way that you trying to tell me somebody friend trying to date somebody that they had talked to. If that's not your friend, it's no way that's your friend, man. That got to be somebody you met yesterday and y'all talked about 2 or 3 times. Cause
they
mean,
just double tap the picture on Instagram and
what?
be like, hey, I saw.
Hey, I saw.
you
Yeah,
posted.
like, come on, man. That cannot be somebody that's your true friend.
Because, so here's my thing, right? Like, if they're really your friend, they already saw the coming attraction to this movie.
Come on, man.
Like, did you think that it was going to end different?
Oh man, you know the tricks, you know all the games, you know all the lines.
And
the movie role done been played. You just stepping in to play the main character.
So let's play
Like,
devil's
come on,
advocate,
man.
right? Because,
Yeah.
you know, we like to look at things from both sides of
Yeah.
the story. I love to play devil's advocate because, you know, I think it's fun sometimes. So people change, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, what you got in a person could be very different than what your friend Bobby got when he tried to date her.
Yeah, okay,
So why can't he give her an opportunity to show she changed her color?
that's good. Bobby is no longer Tashawn's friend. I don't want to. Hey, look, come on, man. We got to cut this out. This ain't this. But this is what I be trying to say when I talk about people understanding reality. Okay, nuance in reality. Reality is ain't nobody that's your real friend gonna be dating somebody after you broke up with them. Cause if that's the case, they've been plotting on it the whole time. Come on, man. Y'all better stop this. Cut this mess out, man.
Ooh, just got spicy in here.
Come on, they've been plotting on that the whole time. And that does happen to people, right? But that's already been a plan that's been set in motion.
Right.
Them seeds already have been planted long ago. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna say this again. These must be associates. Cause ain't no way in the world you got a friend, somebody that you call a friend, okay, gonna date somebody that you done talked to. That don't even make sense. Unless they was already plotting on that the whole time. And then at that point, male or female, man, I ain't got no time for you, man. That's silly shit. That's just silly. Y'all
Right.
going, hey, I hope y'all live a happy existence. And that's just that. But them ain't your friend. Them associates you got, man. I'm not your friend.
And you need to, if you find yourself in situations like this, it's time to evaluate.
Evaluate a whole
Who's
lot.
around you?
Man, you better evaluate a whole
Because
lot.
at the end of the day, if you're gonna call someone your friend, like that's an important title that you give
Yeah.
somebody. Loyalty is huge, okay? And someone who's gonna date your ex is not defending you anywhere because guess what? Your ex isn't gonna have nice things to say to you because they're your ex for a reason, okay? And so you have to take that into consideration, like what conversations happened to even lead you to this place. And people are very quick to say, "Oh well, my friend would never.
Boy, you got
My
to be,
friend would never."
boy, you got to be some. You got to be, and I'm saying it's some things I consider low, but it's the lowest of the low to be talking to people that your friends done talked to or that you know done had relationships with right after like that. Man, come on, that ain't your friend, man. That's somebody that you talk to in passing or that you see sometimes and y'all have a chit chat, but them ain't your friends, guys.
Time to switch
These
them out.
ain't your friends, man. These ain't. Well,
Episode 6.
episode 6, man.
We made it.
We made it. I love it, man. This was a top.
This is a good one.
Yeah, I love it. All right. Talks Beyond Barbell, episode 6. Wishing y'all a good night, day, evening, whenever y'all will catch this podcast. Love y'all. Peace.
Bye. Brought to you by Noco. Sponsor me, Noco. Sponsor me. Brought to you by NOCO. Sponsor me, NOCO. Sponsor me.